Without realizing it, we communicate all the time, even if we don't utter a word. What do we mean, and how is this possible? Let's take a look. As subtle and silent nonverbal communication may be, it can have much more impact than verbal communication sometimes. We spend around 75% of our waking hours communicating, of which 80% occurs through nonverbal communication, which does not involve speech. Body language is a subset of nonverbal communication that complements our speech when interacting with others. Body language is a collective term for our facial expressions, eye contact, gestures, posture and body movement, and proxemics, the use of space around you when communicating with others. Body language has a key role to play in communication. It can add additional meaning over and above spoken communication, and it often speaks the loudest. Through our body language alone, we have the ability to reflect complex attributes like confidence, mood, openness, and even honesty. Body language includes both intentional and unintentional body movements that can convey our feelings, emotions, and attitudes. If used effectively, it can significantly enhance our communication, but we must be aware that poor body language has the power to detract. Before we look at effective body language in detail, let's understand the main purposes of body language. Body language serves three main purposes. It can be used as a substitute for words, it complements or supplements verbal communication, and it's used as a feedback signal in the form of an instant reaction, perhaps in terms of reinforcement or clarification. A common use of body language is to get across a message using expressions or gestures instead of using speech or writing. If you spot a friend on the other end of a lecture hall, it wouldn't be appropriate to shout hello, but instead you can make eye contact, smile, and wave to convey your greeting. If you did shout, they may not hear you anyway, and passing a note may be possible but would take forever in comparison. While at times we give a lot of thought to what we say, you will be surprised at what people actually take away from a message. It's useful to be aware of the role our body language plays in message delivery. Body language can reinforce a message or add substance to it. Body language is a good tool for us to gauge how genuine a person's spoken words are and can provide insight into their true feelings. Body language is a very useful feedback mechanism. A person's body language gives us signals that we can interpret on an intuitive level. The gut feelings we sometimes have are a result of our subconscious ability to read body language. Through body language, we can reinforce or encourage what another person is saying or doing. For example, seeing students nod and smile can assure a teacher that their instructions are understood. Similarly, a confused look indicates that instructions may not be clear and the teacher should clarify. Body language is particularly good at getting across our emotions and moods. Think about what position you take when you are thinking, curious, excited, or bored. Now some food for thought. Almost 85% of what an audience takes away from our communication is all based on body language, mannerisms, and facial expressions. Without realizing it, we are communicating all the time. Do you now grasp the power of body language and why it's so important for us to be aware of it?